This video demonstration will provide instructions on how to use the timeline to search for and play back video in the C3 CMS client. To expand the timeline, select the arrow at the bottom of the screen and the timeline will pop up. On the bottom left, we have the calendar icon, which is used to navigate the day of the month in which you wish to view video. Directly below the calendar is the playback navigation menu. You can use this menu to adjust the speed of playback, pause, fast forward, reverse, and skip ahead or back one frame at a time. Across the bottom, we have a timeline that represents that day currently reflected on the calendar. As I am watching live video on my display, the current date is displayed at the bottom. Directly above the timeline are thumbnail images captured for a given camera. In this case, it is camera 1-1 up in the top left. You'll notice that it is highlighted yellow, therefore it is showing that camera's video across the bottom. When I select camera 1-2 to its right, it turns yellow and the timeline begins to display the thumbnail images for that camera. Let's say we want to explore some video that was recorded a few days earlier. Using the calendar, we'll change the day of the week that is displayed in the timeline. Once we do that, thumbnails for that day will begin to display across the bottom of the timeline. Notice that the timeline is currently divided up into 24 one-hour segments, and the thumbnails represent each of those one-hour segments. Variable timeline provides the ability to incrementally change the scale of the timeline. Changes to the scale are made using the scroll button on the mouse. As I scroll in, the resolution of the timeline increases and the corresponding thumbnail images provide greater fidelity for your search. Okay, so now that we've jumped back a few days and we found a portion of the timeline that we want to investigate further, I'm going to go ahead and close the California cameras and just focus my investigation on the Tampa cameras. Okay, so just as a test, let's see if we can identify who this person is on the outside of this door. We can zoom in on the single camera by double-clicking on it. Using the on-screen buttons, we can navigate through the video until we get a clear shot of the person behind the door. Once we are happy with the shot, use the on-screen dynamic zoom to zoom in closer and get a shot of the person's face. Lastly, we can use the video export functions such as screen capture, print, record to take and save this video for further investigations.